10 or 11 years ago, a student asked in our engineering class, I don't know if he asked or he was describing having heard about Velcro being on the inside of an astronaut's helmet. And while they don't actually have Velcro inside helmets anymore, they do have something else for astronauts to be able to wipe their tears away and scratch their nose. But at the time that the student had asked it, I was in a 3-month phase. I'd go in and out of these phases of meditating for a half hour a day. And during that chunk of time, I was, during my meditation, practicing not responding to the itches and scratches and discomfort of my body, right? Just feeling it out to develop a deeper awareness of it. So I said to my student, I said, well, yeah, it's a really cool idea that they'd have Velcro inside the helmets, but we don't actually have to scratch an itch. He was like, oh no, yeah, we do. Like you gotta scratch the itch, right? And I was just in the midst of that self-training and actually, it's not true. We can train ourselves, right? So fast forward to today in class, a student had an email pop up while I'm sitting down working with him on some code. He said, oh, this is such a stressful time. So we had a conversation about this. And it's so clear to me that stress is a choice, right? This isn't a theoretical understanding on my part. It's actually an awareness, right? It's not something that I read in a book that should be possible to live stress-free. No, it's actually a skill to develop. It's a perspective to take, to not experience stress in traditionally stressful situations. Like I get, for me, anytime stress arises, I'm choosing the stress, right? We don't usually catch it, but every single time without fail, upon reflection, I see that I've actually chosen the stress when I feel it, right? So I'm having this conversation with a student. They're like, yeah, right, whatever. Like, obviously, there's stress, right? But what if there's not, right? What's interesting about stress, too, and I said this to the kid, and I've written about this in my blog recently, is that the thing that we're stressing about, the stress is never about that thing. The stress is never about the circumstance. It's never about the situation. It's never about the person. Same with our frustration and anger, right? It's never about the circumstance or situation. It's never about the person that we feel this directed towards. The stress, the anger, the frustration, sadness, the anxiousness, it doesn't point to those circumstances outside of us in nearly every case. In nearly every case, it's pointing inward to something about us. Right? Who am I such that this is a stressful time? Who am I such that this circumstance is stressful? Right? Now, why this relates to that whole Velcro thing is that I'm not just making this up, right? Like, it's through experience. It's through growth and development, right? So this isn't just theory. It's not just theory that we have access to ownership and empowerment in the face of any circumstances. It's not just theory that humans can thrive no matter what. It's actually practical. It's actually possible. The question is, are we A, willing to explore and discover that it is possible for us, and B, freaking practice it, right? Apply it. It's like an applied philosophy, right? For ourselves. It's an applied awareness, an applied understanding. So I invite you, next time you're feeling frustrated, next time you're feeling stressed or anxious, right? Next time you got this itch that you really got to scratch, perhaps consider, what if it's not about the circumstance? What if it's not about this person? What if it's not about this thing? And what if my stress and my anxiety and my fear and my anger and my frustration, what if it's actually something about me? And there's something about myself that I have not yet perhaps become aware of. It's like exploring down in a cave to find some beautiful pearls, right? We've got to be willing to kind of dive in a little bit. Now, a powerful way to do that is with someone who's trained in these types of experiences and conversations. But ultimately, it's like seeing something newly, right? Approaching something from a different angle. And it all starts with a willingness to consider, maybe something else is possible. What if something else is possible? Thanks so much for watching.